Good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for being here. My name is Costanza Levera, Chief Communication Officer of Almo Nature, and here with me is my colleague Paola Paniccia, full-time project manager of Companion for Life. And the fact that Almo Nature dedicates a work resource entirely to solidarity towards dogs and cats and to the improvement of their condition should already tell you how seriously we face our role and our responsibility as a company. But first of all, we apologize if we speak in English. As you can note, not in your language, because the programs were different, and we should have had our Dutch colleague Nienke here with us to lead as country community manager, but unfortunately today she's not feeling well enough to speak. She will help us at the end of the presentation during the question time to translate all the questions you ask us in Dutch. So we can also provide you with the written answer in the chat in your language. Don't worry if you miss something in English. So we will have the opportunity to fix it for sure. Today, we are very happy to have the opportunity to talk to you about our Companion for Life program. This is the name that actually this program has existed for several years since 2018, but the program has evolved a lot, and this year we have a great news to present that deserve a space for sharing like this. I see that while I am speaking, other people have arrived, and I hope all can be comfortable seated. I'm sure that many of you already know Almo Nature as a pet food company, but probably far fewer are the people who know how we do it and how we behave like a company. I mean the economic model that we follow, which is a very particular one. This model is based on, we call it reintegration economy. That's maybe a difficult or strange name, but how does it work? Since 2018, Almo Nature allocates 100% of its profits after cost, taxes and investment, of course, to Fondazione Capellino projects for the protection of biodiversity, 100%. In protection of biodiversity projects in various areas of intervention that you can learn more about, of course, if you want, we hope so, on the web page www.fondazionecapellino with 1p 2l.org. Capellino is the name of our founder, and since 2018, he doesn't put the money in his pocket, but he puts money in this project, all the net profit. So you can also find out in our website, fondazionecapellino.org, all the details, of course, on how this reintegration economy model works. And you can go to the page called Transparency, and all is there. All is there in a very transparent way. But who is Fondazione Capellino? So for Almo Nature, it is a non-profit organization that holds 100% ownership of Almo Nature, and it is financed exclusively through the profits from the sales of its products. This means that with our work, we give back to nature what, like every productive activity existing today, what we take away from it, from nature every day. We, of course, have a negative impact. We are not 100% sustainable. It's impossible today, of course, and not easy in this kind of market, which is global, very long chain, and not so flexible. But no productive and commercial activity, so today, can be said to be completely sustainable. Concrete actions can be anyway implemented, for example, to reduce packaging and make it completely recyclable, or improve transport to reduce the number of trucks on the streets, and so on. But in the end, we need to find a way during this transition to do something more that can reverse the negative trends already today. It's urgent. And this means also that every time you buy a natural food or a vegetable litter for your pet, you are helping to move the projects forward. And you automatically become an activist with us for the protection of biodiversity, as well as, of course, of our beloved animal companions. So projects with a direct activism from Almo Nature towards cats and dogs, and an indirect activism through reintegration economy, embodied in the economic support of Fondazione Capellino projects. We wanted to activate for this a community of people like you who believe in these values and wanted to work together with us to improve things. And it is for this purpose that we don't only launch the new activities initiative with that Paola is going to tell you about shortly, but we have created a sort of virtual space and place where we can meet all together and do something for the purpose of protecting biodiversity, something concrete. Combating the harmful effects of climate change, for example, or experimenting with regenerative agriculture. We call it biodiverse agriculture, and also, of course, improving the well-being and rights of cats and dogs. And the web platform that hosts the new Companion for Life initiative is the one we are talking about, Recommunity. You see this in your screen. And here, reintegrationeconomy.org, you can carry out various actions to join us. For example, signing a petition in the various areas of intervention of the Fondazione Capellino. But tomorrow we will propose, for instance, to participate in events in the squares or so on. Regarding the initiative aimed at associations that deal with cats and dogs, which we have called this initiative Call for Projects, it also takes place entirely on this site and shares the final goal of Companion for Life, which is to definitively move from the concept of ownership as if animals were objects, of course they're not, to that of greater responsibility of humans towards the dogs and the cats they take care of. So even today, you know, in the legislation at the European level, dogs and cats are often considered objects rather than sentient beings. While not enough attention is paid to the need to track who is responsible for them throughout their existence, that this is identifiable through a single register and so on. These are some of the main problems we face. We must also always remember that it is necessary, in our opinion, to respect their specificity as cats and dogs without failing into an unhealthy humanization. For example, I give this personal example. I have always had cats in my life, and since I was 18 years old, I have give up eating meat. I am vegetarian more than vegan, but I would never dream of forbidding my cat to eat meat, being the cat a strictly carnivorous animal. Okay, it would be absurd. So this is more or less our philosophy to do things, always maintaining a line, and on this value we want to build up with you and with your great work you do every day for cats and dogs. Finally, a big community. So I want to thank you again, and I let Paola tell you about the 4 levels of action of Companion for Life program. Please, Paola. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Paola, and as my colleague Costanza mentioned, I'm the Companion for Life project manager. So the 4 levels, we have them here in our website. The first and most concrete one is the call for projects we just launched, which we will explore in more detail later. But we are also trying to act, as Costanza said, upstream on the law regulating the dogs and cats' welfare and traceability. In 2023, the European Commission presented for the first time in the history of the EU a proposal for regulation on the welfare and traceability of dogs and cats, aiming to establish common rules for breeding, sales, and identification of animals. Even though the scope of the proposal is unfortunately limited, it's a historic step forward, as until now the European Union has only considered companion animals in terms of public health or as goods to be transported. Today, however, it finally acknowledges that they are sentient beings with specific rights. But we think there is still much to be done. After being amended by the Council in June, the proposal is now in the Agriculture Committee, which will discuss it in the coming weeks. We have submitted a series of amendments to members of the European Parliament to make it more effective and incisive, trying with difficulty to broaden the scope a bit, but also focusing on practical measures that can ensure better protection and fight illegal trafficking. Some of the proposed amendments by MEPs have gone in the direction we were hoping for. 3 key points: mandatory identification for all dogs and cats, including those born in families or transferred between private individuals, because without traceability, illegal trafficking will not be stopped. Another point is databases connected at the European level to allow for rapid identification of animals across Europe. And then stricter penalties for those who mistreat, exploit, or traffic dogs and cats, violating the rules established by the regulation. Almonature is actively working to push for these changes to be adopted by the European Parliament, and to ensure that this will not remain the only proposal for the protection of our four-legged friends. For those who want to delve deeper into this specific area, there is already a link here to an editorial by our president, Pier Giovanni Cavellino, on the Companion for Life page in the Almonature website. But we are also working on a white paper, an informational document that we will publish on the same page over the next month, describing in detail the current regulatory framework in the various member states, best practices, and most importantly, our recommendation to strengthen the protection of dogs and cats in Europe. So we also invite you to join our community by clicking here, a community, to promptly receive information about the publication of the documents via email. Clearly, we know we cannot do this alone, and that's why another level of work is collaboration with associations that shares our vision. They can, first of all, participate in the Companion for Life call for projects, but also collaborate with us to pursue common battles. Companion for Life is also about this, a tool to create a network that even beyond the call for project and the work within the European Parliament, fights to promote conscious adoption based on responsibility toward our four-legged friends, and works for dogs and cats with an ethical approach that respects their nature and their uniqueness. What does collaboration means to us? It means teaming up at an institutional level. It means supporting the work of association, as we will do with the Companion for Life call for projects, but also giving them visibility, because making their work known is essential for us. It means promoting a cultural change that shifts the focus from ownership to responsibility, as we mentioned before. We have talked about laws and collaboration, but there is another level of intervention that concerns pure emergency. Those moments when you cannot wait and need to act urgently. The Love Food Bank is our virtual solidarity warehouse, a program through which Almonature intervenes in the most serious crisis, providing high-quality meals to dogs and cats in extreme situation. This is not a generic donation, but a targeted action aimed at emergencies. In recent years, as you can see here, we have intervened in Ukraine 2 times, in 2024 and 2022, supporting dogs and cats affected by the conflict. In Emilia-Romagna, in Italy, after the floods of 2024 and 2023. In Brazil, in May 2024, following the devastating flood in Rio Grande do Sul, and helping families in financial difficulty when the crisis made it impossible to provide food for their animals, thus preventing the risk of abandonment. Since 2018, we have donated over 5,200,000 meals worldwide. And before our current project, we have promoted numerous initiatives to improve the status of our companion animals. One of our most important actions has been the Adopt Me program, thanks to which from 2018 to April 2024, we have supported shelters and foster families, encouraging adoptions and helping to reduce abandonment. Through Adopt Me, with which we choose to support with high quality food those organizations showing strong commitment to increasing adoptions, we made possible more than 40,000 adoptions across Europe. And in April 2024, we decided to evolve our action, making it even more concrete, targeted and structured. In which way we are at this point with our Companion for Life call for projects. We are providing 45,000 euros to support 7 projects from no-profits organizations in the Netherlands working for the welfare of dogs and cats. But that's not all. The call has also been launched in 6 other European countries: Belgium, Germany, Spain, France, Italy, and the United Kingdom, with a total fund of 325,000 euros. Our goal, in fact, is to have a tangible impact on an international scale. Let's go to the website to see how can participate, in which sector, and how selection process works. So, who can participate? The call is open to recognized no-profit organizations in the Netherlands, registered in the Chamber of Commerce Trade Register, working for the protection of dogs and cats, and meeting some requirements. They must have been active for at least 2 years. They must have a deed of incorporation and a statute that clearly states their no-profit purposes. They must have a website and or a Facebook page to ensure transparency and traceability. They must not have legal representatives with final conviction for serious crime, including corruption, environmental crimes, and financing of terrorism. They must not be in conflict of interest with the objective of the call. Additionally, each organization can participate with only one project. This means that one statute corresponds to one project, and it is essential to carefully choose which initiative to submit. Project must fall into at least one of the following areas. So education and training of the people to whom the dogs and cats are given. Adoption programs with the interest of the animal and its specificity at the center. Scientific research into the welfare of dogs and cats. stray prevention and care of stray dogs and cats, support of dogs and cats from families in distress, unique identification of dogs and cats from birth, creation of a single European register of breeders. And to be eligible, project must be concrete and feasible. They can be new projects, not yet started, but with all authorization already obtained, ongoing projects that require additional budget to be completed. The selection process takes place in 3 phases. The first one will start on April the 2nd till June the 3rd, and the organization during this period can register on the Reintegration Economy Community website and upload their project, including all the required documents listed in the call for projects. You can see them at the end of this file. Wait, just a moment. Here. A word of advice, the 1000 characters description will be the one published during the voting phase, so it's important to write it with great care. Coming back to the website, we can see the second phase starting from June the 4th till July the 16th. An international commission of experts will conduct an initial screening of the projects based on transparency and credibility of the proposing organization through verification of the required documents, consistency of the project with the objective of the call, feasibility of the project. And we are at the third phase, the phase of public voting that we start on July the 18th till October the 16th. During this period, the selected project will be published on the Reintegration Economy Community website, where they can be voted by the public. And here's where the visibility we mentioned earlier comes into play. All the finalist projects will be highlighted on the website, and Valmonature will carry out a communication campaign to promote the initiative. Therefore, we will give visibility to all participants regardless of the voting outcome. What do I mean? Even the organization that will not receive funding will still gain something very important, the opportunity to make themselves known, to share their work, and to find new supporters. And in this phase, it will be essential for associations to also mobilize their supporters. On October the 20th, the projects that we receive funding will be announced based on the ranking resulting from the public vote. That being said, I can only add that pre-registration, as you can see here, is already possible, and it's important to sign up now, even if organizations don't have their project already or cannot yet present it, because this allows them to receive updates and reminders about deadlines, start accessing all the necessary information to better prepare their application, being planning their project well in advance. In short, pre-registration is the first step not to miss on this opportunity. And so we are at the moment of the questions. Feel free to write them in the comments, both in Dutch or in English, as you prefer.
We already have a question in English from Christine. Christine asks, do you have participation in castration projects, and do you speak with the EU about castration in the EU? You can reply, Paola.
No, at the moment we didn't speak with EU about this issue.
Because the current proposal of well-being for cats and dogs regards, unfortunately for us, because we would have preferred, of course, something more general, but regards only the sale of cats and dogs, like regulation of breeding for breeders who after sells, of course, cats and dogs, and the sale between one country and the other, and
I can tell you, Costanza.
sorry.
Oh, okay.
I
You are.
Where I was interrupted, I don't know, but I was telling that unfortunately this European law proposal made in 2023 December regards only the sale of cats and dogs. I mean the breeders who sells cats and dogs, and the sale between a country and the other. So we would like that something else was on the table, but by now we can speak about other subjects with the EU. We hope that a next step, of course, will be also sterilization. That is a very important subject in our opinion. Thank you. Some other questions? Please don't be shy. You have our website in the chat, www.reintegrationeconomy.org, where you can see all things we have told about. And we really thank you for being here. We hope that many associations can take part to this, because it's very important for us and for the cats and dogs for sure, mainly. We can wait some other moments in order to see if some question comes. Thank you, Christine. Okay. You can find here on the website a little envelope you see there. You click there and you can send all your questions, of course, after this webinar, whenever you want. This is the form to send your questions. Thank you, Paola. Thank you, Alfonso, the director. Thank you, everybody. And see you next time.
Thank you and see you. Have a nice evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.